I'm touched and I'm honored for that. So once again, thank you so much to everyone that's here. My name is Eric Raudsep, and I am running for NC House 31 right here in Durham, North Carolina. So I'm going to be honest with you. This has been a very difficult speech for me to write. I asked a lot of other politicians who have done campaign kickoff speeches and stuff, and I've asked them what they wrote about in their speeches. And they gave me a lot of different examples about personal experience, their family, the things that mean so much to them. So I started writing. I read about my political hero and how he meant so much to me, and how I had a chance encounter with him in the men's restroom of the United Nations. I'm speaking of Nelson Mandela. When I started reading the speech, and I realized that it wasn't the message that I was trying to get across today, so I crumpled it up and I threw it away. I started writing about my political history, the fact that I got involved in politics at the ripe old age of 16 when I went out and started volunteering for a campaign, and by the fact that I was on paid campaign staff by the time I was 20, and the fact that I worked on the Hill and everything else that I've done in my political career. And I hated it. So I crumpled it up and I threw it away. I started talking about my family and how much that influenced my politics. The fact that my father defected from the Soviet Union and I am a first-generation immigrant here in North Carolina, and how that has influenced my political beliefs, and how, because my father came from a communist nation, I believe so fully in liberty and everything that the Libertarian Party stands for. And I'm probably going to give it to him for a Father's Day present, but it's not the speech that needed to be given today, so I crumpled it up and threw it away. I started writing about my whole life, all my personal struggles, my triumphs. And after I wrote it, I liked the speech. However, I started thinking of all the people that will stand in front of me listening to this speech, and I realized that everyone has troubles and triumphs within their life. And while mine may be very well suited for this position, it is not my aim or my goal to ever belittle someone else's experience in life. So I crumpled it up and I threw it away. The one piece of information that I was given by almost every single candidate that I talked to was don't talk about the issues. This is the one day where you're going to all of a sudden have the ability to tell who you are. This is your introduction. This is the day for everyone to get excited about you. Well, darn it, I get excited about the issues. I get excited about what we can do. I work with my hands every single day as a small business owner of a home inspection company. I've worked from the bottom to the top and have a successful business. And it means so much to me that I am a common citizen of Durham, North Carolina. And I make one pledge to you. My pledge to you is that I will return common sense and true compassion to the state government of North Carolina. I am not browbeaten by those that say that I can't, but I will raise my head and say that I will. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for the schools of Durham and North Carolina. One in which we empower our teachers to teach and not hold them back, to prepare our students for testing, to prove that they can jump through hoops, or standardize everything to the final degree, and check that our schools are filled. The last time I checked, our schools are filled with children and not machines, and every one of them an individual, not one with an interchangeable part. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for the immigrants of Durham and of North Carolina. I want to give me your poor and huddled masses yearning to breathe free the meaning that it once had, that was so proud and so at the very core of this nation. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for the drug war right here in Durham and in North Carolina. I am sick and tired of hearing story after story about our youth being arrested for non-violent drug crimes. Our politicians and lawmakers are so desperate to prevent our friends, our children, our neighbors from ruining their lives with drugs that they are willing to ruin their lives for them with felony charges and jail times, which only force them deeper into a society filled with drugs and crime. We need real and common sense and compassionate solutions to create jobs here in Durham and in North Carolina. We are spending millions upon millions to bring big corporations here that only relocate executives to North Carolina at the taxpayers' expense, only to create low and mid-level jobs for our citizens. When we could create fertile ground for small businesses right here where it is needed, where you will hire your neighbors and pay real living wages and make the biggest and most needed impacts in your lives and in your community's lives. Then the corporations will be moving to North Carolina on their own dime as part of the economic boom that we call the wonder of North Carolina. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions to treat each other fairly, honestly, and openly. We need to recognize the rights of our neighbors and do as they need to do for themselves, as they will clearly recognize the rights for you to do for yourself. We must stop legislating morality, for it has created a dark underbelly that will become only a bigger and bigger problem and even more unforeseen consequences that will be even more difficult to undo later than it is now. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for our farms. The average size farm in North Carolina is only 170 acres. That family-owned farm, to make a finished product like pickles, they need to apply for a $400 license to make and sell those pickles. How many jars of pickles they have to sell to recoup that cost of just the license? It is fair. Is that a fair thing? I say no, especially in the light that an operation like Mount Olive needs to only have the same $400 license when they produce hundreds of thousands of jars on every grocery shelf in North Carolina. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for our brewers and our vintners. We have a thriving microbrewery industry like we are here at one today. If production grows beyond 25,000 barrels, they must bring in a distributor to ship no matter if they have their own distribution network or not. And then they are virtually locked to that distributor for life of the business. As craft brewing becomes larger and larger industry in North Carolina, that profit that they make is smaller and smaller. Not to mention the cost of distribution is 30% or more off the top. Let us end the restrictive laws on brewing and vintning and allow this burgeoning industry to flourish. We need real common sense and compassionate solutions for our veterans. I am against all wars unless if they are fought in true defense of this nation. Let us not take the fight to, and if they bring the fight to our door, we should bring the fight to theirs. But we should not make the first step. It is an important thing to remember that old men create war and young men die in it. So therefore, we should not penalize our veterans for they made the sacrifice that old men demanded of them. So now, I call you to action. I call for you to spread the common sense. I ask that you open your wallets and your hearts and give liberally to this campaign to ensure that we can take this as a victory all the way to the North Carolina House. I want you, as a call to action, to spread the compassion. Volunteer to knock on doors, to make the phone calls, to host meet and greets, to attend meet and greets, and make sure you tell every single person you know about the freedom that is coming to North Carolina. My name is Eric Raudsep, and I am running for NC House District 31.